It's hard to even know where to start talking about OC.
He was famous for his stories, and he imparted so many wonderful life lessons about the importance of family, community, and just working hard to make a difference.
I think so many people in the community have their own personal stories about Oscar and the way that he touched our lives, and they will have a story about a time when Oscar came to the office with dilly bars or an ice cream sundae bar and would just pull everybody together and give us a chance to visit and connect.
I think back on OC's early influence in the Community Foundation, and this is an idea to help people to give back, to do special things to a community that we love. And OC was one of the first people who signed on and one of the first officers in the Community Foundation. And he took it upon himself and led the charge to go out and spread the gospel in a way.
And OC had actually been on one of the first Sister City trips in 1991. And so he hadn't been back since. And so when this opportunity came up, it was like, sign me up. So we traveled together to Kurgan, Russia, and we met with all kinds of people. And what was always interesting about our experience with OC was every Russian at that time really wanted to meet a successful American businessman. And this guy was the definition of a successful American businessman.
He gave really good hugs, really good hugs.
After we opened our dealership, OC felt a responsibility to buy a car from me. And so we started working on that first Buick LeSabre. And he said, no, I am not going to pay $44 for white walls. That's just not going to happen. And no, I don't want fancy wheel covers. I don't need that. I'm a builder. I'm a construction guy. I spent 40 years convincing him white walls and wheel covers would be okay. He is one of the key business mentors in my life. And he got there not by building buildings, but by how he lived his life. He genuinely cared. He was a friend you could count on no matter what. He was a person that, in a way, exuded wisdom. He would remind me now and then that he had an unusual ability to make dreams come to reality.
His whole career was built on helping make people's dreams come true, bringing dreams to life. He set an amazing example. You know, I think that's the best gift of all. His legacy was the example that he set by his life and how he lived and what he did every single day.
You know, Oscar used to say that from the age of 4, he knew he wanted to be a construction guy. All he wanted to do was build things. He turned into a builder of community, and I'm not sure that he expected that to happen to him.
And it's really even more than a passion. It's like this belief that we each can make our community what we want it to be. And it's almost to the level of a duty, a responsibility to future generations.
Something I really learned from Oscar and Pat was the appreciation for the arts. They have helped all of us understand the importance of the arts and the difference that can make in our community and help educate all of us to a whole new level. And it's great for our mind and our soul and the overall health of our community.
The community hugely, hugely benefited from his skills with construction when it came to the PAC and the Trout Museum of Art. And the Trout Museum of Art, as we are today, is a product of all of that hard work and dedication to his own community. It's incredible, really.
If he was not so civic-minded and other people in Appleton were not so civic-minded, the community would not be the community it is today.
He was a great promoter of everything Appleton.
He was so bright, so visionary, so much in love with this community.
When I think about OC, I think about that common thread that weaves through every memory, and that's the people and that special connection with people.
The thing that I always loved is when he would look over and just give you that little smile, that little mischievous hint of mischief, smile with that twinkle in his eye, and you knew it was going to be okay.
I think that any of the stories that get told about him really could begin with or end with because O.C. was a man of faith. You know, I think the legacy that O.C. leaves, you know, is set on that firm foundation. You know, it's the relationship that O.C. and Pat shared. It's the faith that they shared together. O.C. just seemed to face it all with a smile on his face, a laugh in his heart, and you always felt like you were in on the joke.
When he was engaged in conversation with you, you were the only person there. He wasn't looking around to see who else was there and walking into the room. He connected directly with people. And that's why people remember him, and that's why people respected, and he could draw people to him to get things done like very few I've ever seen.
He made us all better. There was no doubt about it. And we rose to levels that were out of scale for what we should have been versus what he got us to be.
He brought meaning to my life through watching him, and I have his voice in my head encouraging me to go every day and keep it up, because we can make Appleton whatever we want it to be. And that I learned from O.C. Boldt.